Greetings, family. Welcome to Live with Chatufa. Suspicions are rising as Emmerson Mnangagwa appoints American businessmen to Mutapa Fund Board. You still remember, family, in the very last year that Emmerson Mnangagwa started to grab all companies, all parastatals, which means they are public companies that belong to Zimbabwean people, all those companies that were called parastatals that were running under the government. Emmerson Mnangagwa started on a spree to take over those companies. He grouped them into one big group, which he called the Mutapa Fund. And this Mutapa Fund, he went on to make sure that it does not get any accountability from the, from the parliament. It does not get any scrutiny from parliament or from any other auditors. And he appointed people to this Mutapa Fund, people that are his cronies, people that are around him. And now of late, Mnangagwa is appointed an American businessman into this position. This American businessman is MARC HOLTZMAN, who stepped down as CBZ chair in December. He has been appointed to the Mutapa Fund board. HOLTZMAN says it is an honor and privilege to serve Zimbabwe in this new exciting role. I want us to understand something. I know that some people would say, oh, so what is wrong? Maybe he's qualified, maybe this man. Because when you go to read his profile, if you read the profile of this man, MARC HOLTZMAN, I read the profile, and it speaks quite good about him as an economist, as an educand, somebody who is knowledgeable about banking and things like that. He was in Rwanda at one time, he was where and things like that, and he did quite a number of successes. But one thing that I question about this man is how CBZ has been operating. That's where the question becomes. CBZ in Zimbabwe, from the time that Gideon Gono left it and he went to the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, CBZ went to the dogs. It was taken over by ZANU-PF. And ZANU-PF started to do a lot of its deals and a lot of its debt using the CBZ. And this is very, very disturbing. Very, very disturbing. Because a lot of these chicanery that Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF have been doing in terms of finances, these banks, the banks like CBZ, what's this others? The bank where Mshayawan was, I'm forgetting the name, can remind me. These were the banks that continue to be used by Emmerson Mnangagwa. And most of these banks, he is actually the greatest shareholder in all this. So my question will be, if this MARC HOLTZMAN, the American guy, is a straightforward guy, how come he coexisted with the ZANU-PF, working as the chairman of the CBZ with all that corruption in the rot that was happening, and he still survived and he still remained there and he was not tainted? Because one thing that I know about professional people is that whenever they see that things are being done haphazardly and things are being done in a corrupt way, things are not being done as according to the book, they usually want to maintain their reputation. They will go. They will move away. But this man stayed on. He did not move until December. And only now are we hearing him right now being promoted, because this is a promotion. Because CBZ is just a small entity compared to the Mutapa Fund. The Mutapa Fund will be having 1 million times more funds than what CBZ could ever be having. So this is quite a promotion. Why is Mnangagwa promoting this guy? What is it about this guy? And I can assure you, family, from this time around and onwards, I want to start to dig into this guy's history and how he has been fending when he was at the CBZ. I'm giving myself that job to seek more information about things that have been happening. I want to look at the dirty deals that were done from CBZ, and we want to find out if this man had not a signature of his on one of all those papers and all those agreements that were being done by CBZ. If I'm right, CBZ again is the bank that opened an account for Shawang. You still remember the Borodale branch of CBZ? I think, if I'm right, it should be the same bank again that opened a bank account for Songezo Shamang on behalf of the CCC, and he was opening it as one man, when actually such a business account, such an organizational account cannot be opened by an individual without minutes of the board, without agreement, without signatures, without a constitution and all the like. But they managed to open the account for CBZ at Borodale branch just immediately before the issue of money started to be a problem, because at first they really wanted to just give the money to Songeso Shabang. That was their plan. But later on, it started to have a lot of hiccups. Up to now, the money is not yet released. And I think now it can be released. Now that Mnangagwa has really cleansed the Triple C, he now really understands what it is, and Shabang has been given the honor to be the leader of that Triple C in parliament, which means now I think they can safely release those funds. So this is what is happening. We want to see what is happening. Why is this American guy being given such a position by Emmerson Mnangagwa? What deals has he been in with Emmerson Mnangagwa? What agreements did he do? What favors did he do for Mnangagwa all along that allowed him to continue to work with him? Remember, ZANU-PF people are the people that always say we are anti-imperialists, we don't want the Americans, they are causing sanctions, they are doing things like that. What is so special about this American guy? What is so special about him? And I can assure you, working for Mnangagwa as this guy is doing, I'm telling you, this guy cannot transact with any other entities that are linked to America. If he's not careful, he's going to be an American who is going to be also under sanctions from his own state. It can happen. So he really needs to be investigated to find out who this guy really is. What is it that he has done in the past? Why is it Mnangagwa is trusting an American? We know that ZANU-PF deals with China, with Russia, with Belarus, in South Africa of late. They've been dealing with those people, but the Americans know, because they are in a lock-on battle that is never really finished. Up to now, we still have Mnangagwa crying about sanctions. So we are still watching to see what really is happening. But the Mutapa Fund, like I said, I did a show about this long back when it started. And I was telling you that that is the biggest fraud that Emmerson Mnangagwa has ever created on Zimbabwe. The biggest looting scheme that has ever been done in Zimbabwe. And this guy, the American guy, who has got that, attractive CV, would want to be working for such an organization for the why. That is our question. We want to understand why he could do that, why his conscience does not give him, trouble to say, how can you be working with these corrupt guys? People that are called thieves all over the world, people that are under sanctions all over, especially from your own nation. They are putting these guys on sanction and calling them people that are not upholding democratic principles and the rule of law, as well as human rights. So I don't know. We are still watching, but I can assure you, I'm digging into this man. We really need to find out who he is. Otherwise, these are the updates that we are just giving you, family. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. For those that have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to this channel, and thank you for doing that. You are really uplifting the channel. I'm seeing quite the numbers are going up of subscriptions. It is very, very good. YouTube will continue to promote us and to promote our videos, so that the gospel can continue to go. The freedom of the Zimbabwean people is what we are fighting for. Zimbabwe is going to be free very, very soon. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. Till we meet again in the next show. Shalom.